Welcome back, Cocina Besties. Let's make some arroz chino with carne frita. Let's make some Chinese rice with some fried pork shoulder. Super delicious. You're not going to want to miss this video. Let's get started. The edamame still have a nice, this is for me, guys. Look. Not mushy at all. If you don't want to use pork, you can use chicken, you can use ham, or you can just do a vegetable one. It's up to you. 5 cups of rice that I'm going to add to my pot. To that, I'm going to add 5 cups of water. I'm going to drizzle just a little bit of oil. Stir everything together, and I'll cover it so it can come to start coming to a boil. My stove is at a high heat. So after your rice has all the water has evaporated, your rice will look like this. I did give it a good mix, and I'm not adding salt because we are making Chinese rice with this. Okay, and now we're going to cover and let it cook for about 30 minutes on low to medium heat. Okay, so this is the carne frita we're going to be using in our Chinese pork fried rice. So this is pork shoulder. It came in 2 small packs. Each pack was about a little over 2 pounds. And what I did was I cut them into smaller pieces. Let me just show you. Each pack had some with a few bones. So what I did was, this one I just left whole. But this one I didn't remove the meat. Some of them I did. But these here, I'm going to put them in a sandwich bag. And I'm going to put them in the freezer. Because I'm going to use this for some fresh beans sometime this week. We're going to season this pork shoulder. Let it marinate for just a little bit with the seasoning. I'm going to let mine for like 30-40 minutes. It's still early in my house. It's not even 12 o'clock. And then we're going to come back and then we're going to fry it. Okay, so let's season this up. Okay, so we're going to add 1/4 of vinegar. And don't worry, your food is not going to taste like vinegar. Your Chinese rice will not taste like vinegar. To that, I'm going to add some adobo. Alexa, stop the timer. Our white rice is done. We do have to uncover it, give it a mix, and then we have to let it sit and let it get completely cold. It's still morning time in my house, so I have all day to get Sunday dinner cooked. Garlic powder, and I'm also going to sprinkle some... I'm also going to add some garlic salt, not too much, you know it's salty. And the adobo salty also. And I'm going to add a little bit of this achote oil that my daughter made for me. If you don't have achote oil, you can use regular cooking oil. Just give everything a good mix. And you don't want to over season your meat because we're going to be adding other spices in our rice. Other seasonings. A little more garlic salt and a little more garlic powder. Now I'm going to take a handful of garlic and just smash them like that. Love you, Louie. Then I just give it a rough chop. Okay, and that's all. Now we take the garlic we smashed and we throw it in here and mix it in there. And now we're gonna cover it and stick it in the refrigerator till we're ready to use it. If I had fresh ginger, I would have shredded some and added it in here as well, but I don't. I'm gonna see if I have garlic powder and then I'll add that. But if not, I'll just stick it in the refrigerator just like that. Oh, honey. Okay. I'm gonna add a little bit of oil. And I'm gonna wait for this to get really hot. So I'm gonna let this get hot. The only thing with my pot, yours will probably be different. This pot is so big and I'm gonna make so much meat with the rice. So I'm using this pot. It takes forever to heat up because it's so big. Mainly it heats up in the middle and then the sides take longer to heat up. And as you can see, the oil tends to go all around to that side. All around to the edge of the pot. So that's the only thing with this. But I'm gonna give it a few more minutes and then I'll start adding the meat in. Can we open it? Open what, puppy? Yeah. I'm gonna fry that one with the fat down. You're welcome. Okay, on medium to high heat, we're gonna let this cook for about maybe 30 minutes, so we'll check on it after 30 minutes. Coño, está caliente. You know what? I don't want it to overcook. Yeah, medium to high heat should be fine. Okay, the Alexa's about to go off any minute. Let's give it a mix. You see how it looks? See how it looks? So it released all those yummy juices. I'm gonna bring my stove up to high heat. And I'm gonna put it, matter of fact, my stove goes from an 8 to high. I'm gonna put it about a 7.5 without covering it, so it can start to like get a little crunchy. We're gonna let this kind of like soak up the juices again, and we're going to let it come to like a fry. We're gonna allow it to start getting dry, cooking up and frying up. There's the timer. Alexa, stop the timer. And that should probably take about another 30 minutes. So let's see. Alexa, do not cover it. Leave it uncovered. When you add in the rice, always make sure that your rice is cold. Don't ever make your Chinese rice with hot rice that you just finished making. Always make sure that it's room temperature or make it the night before. So when you remove your pork from your pan, always make sure you leave those crumbs and some of that dripping so that you can mix it into your rice. It makes a difference. Okay, oh my God. Did I show you? I was talking to my son. I don't know if I showed you guys. All right, so oh my goodness. I removed all the oil that the carne frita, the fried pork, made. I left, like, if you see, like some of the crispy parts behind. Not sure what to call it. Now I'm just going to mix this rice and pick up all that pork dripping and the oil in my rice. I'm going to add some of that oil back, but for now I'm just going to give this a good mix in there. I'm going to add some of this back because that's what we want for our fried rice. We're going to use this exact oil from the pork. And give it a mix in there. Turn on my stove. I'm going to turn my stove on to medium heat. Yeah, Papi. Huh? Yeah, I'll put it in there. You want your dinner in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean just like...
I'm going to add 1/4 cup of sesame oil. And this is the sesame oil that I am using today. And now let's give a mix. If you didn't want to use the pork oil, you can use sesame oil. I didn't use sesame oil because I used the pork oil, pork fat, whatever you want to call it, from my carne frita, from my fried pork that we're going to put in here. I'm going to put some garlic powder. And a little bit of this 5-spice Asian blend, just a little bit. All right, I'm gonna add my eggs right to the middle and give it a mix right in there. I'm not gonna scramble it in a bowl. So let's talk about the huevos, cocina besties, about these eggs. So my cousin Angela tells me all the time how she makes the Chinese food and she puts the eggs in the middle of the pot, just like I'm doing, scrambles them, they cook, and then she incorporates it into the rice. So this is the second time I'm trying this. So here I am adding the eggs to the middle of the pot and scrambling them. I'm not sure if it's because the way that my pot's so big and the heating process, which I told you, but it took forever to do this. So I had to scramble them, then cover the pot, and then allow them to cook a little before mixing them into my rice. I think it was easier if I did it my way and just scramble them in the pan separate and then adding them. Which, by the way, this will be the last time I do this. Next time I'm just going to do it my way and just scramble them in a pot and then add them to my rice. And because I was lazy and didn't want to do all of that, this is why I did it this way. But it's okay. As you see, look, after covering them, they started to finally get a little hard. But I'm not going to lie, it took over 20-something minutes for those eggs to start cooking up like that. So never again. Next time, I will just do it the old way. So here we are. But this rice was amazing. It was so good. We actually have just a little left over because everyone has seconds. And also, if you want to add veggies to this, you can. I didn't because I made this because my grandson wanted it. So I didn't add onions or anything to it. I kept it simple so that he can enjoy it. But this is a truly, truly delicious, especially because I made it with the carne frita, the fried pork, that pork flavoring. It does magic every time, whether you put it in here, whether you eat it alone, or where you make a sandwich. Delish. So here I am adding my pork back into the pot. Now, this pork looks like it's really, really fried, and it isn't. Because we boiled it for 30 minutes, it allowed the meat to get so moist because it sucked up all those juices. And because we let it cook without the lid and its own juices and the own fat for 30 minutes, it allowed the pork to get nice and crunchy, but still allowing it to be still moist and melting in your mouth. Because nothing about this meat was dry or extra hard. It had the nice crunch, and it also was nice and moist in the middle. This was absolutely delicious. I do advise you, if you eat pork, to do it with the carne frita, with the roast pork, the beneath chunks. You can buy a whole pork shoulder and also cut it up if you like. But give this recipe a try. You won't regret it. And make sure if you do, you leave me a message in comments and let me know how you liked it, or tag me on Instagram if you create this dish. I thank you for watching. I'm gonna add these edamames with sea salt. And this is it. This is gonna cover it with the stove off because I don't want the edamames to cook and get mushy. So I'm gonna just cover it for, I don't know, probably 10 minutes until they cook up. All right, guys, so it is done. It smells so good and tastes so good. All right, let me make Big Papa his plate. Here's that Chinese rice. Oh my God, I gotta get more edamame. So I only have 2. All right. It's my plate. The Chinese rice and the edamame, the carne frita. Look at that. Ooh. And then I made regular iceberg lettuce. I had some chicken breast from the other night, and I kind of just gave it a rough chop, threw it in there so they wouldn't go to waste, and added some Asian dressing and some cranberry raisinets. Look at that. Look at that. All right, honey, this is dinner. Happy Sunday.